It's the big game on One World of Sport.
Hello rugby fans, I'm John Macbeth.
And I'm Keith Quinn.
Now we're just a couple of ordinary rugby blokes at heart really, and we enjoy chatting over a meal or a cold drink occasionally about some of our favourite All Black moments.
Yes, but we've had the advantage of working in television, and over the years we've had access to the video libraries to see over and over again the best players and the great moments.
So we're delighted to bring you this video, which we're calling Legendary All Black Moments.
Yes, that's right, John, but in no way is this presentation a record of the definitive history of the New Zealand Rugby Football Union.
Instead, it's just Keith and I chatting and recalling some of our favourite rugby moments. And I think, Keith, because you're a lot older than I am, that you should start first.
Yeah, thanks a million, mate. Let's start, though, with a high point. Watching the All Blacks play rugby in the 1950s was much different to today. There was no TV coverage, so only film reports of major rugby games. And they usually weren't seen until 3 or 4 days after the match was played.
So, let's start by showing you some of what the public saw when they went into those picture theatres in the 1950s.
From a British Isles infringement, New Zealand gets another penalty, and Clark brings the score to Lions 17, All Blacks 15. The last 2 minutes of play, with only 2 points difference in their scores, both teams are playing hard. The All Blacks can't cross the Lions goal line, and excitement mounts as another penalty is awarded to New Zealand. This is the decisive kick, and Don Clark takes it from 30 yards. For the 6th time he proves his worth, and the game ends New Zealand 18, British Isles 17. The Lions have shown themselves a well-knit team, and New Zealand has won a narrow victory by Clark's powerful kicking.
The All Blacks are throwing the ball round and playing an open game, but it's not getting away from the lineouts. Play moves upfield and the New Zealand back line is on the attack. Colton picks up the ball and scores. Only 3 minutes to go and the All Blacks are pushing as they've never pushed before. It's now or never if the home team are to win this second test. And here's their opportunity as Don Clark joins the back line as extra man. The ball is fed out. He sees an opening. He's over. British Isles 8, New Zealand 9. Here's a sideline repeat view of Clark's winning try. Watch his dive. Carefully, Clark places the ball for his conversion kick. It's all over, and New Zealand have won the second test by 11 points to 8. It's a tight head to New Zealand, out to Urban. Colton's there and goes over to score. 14 minutes gone and New Zealand have a 3-point lead. New Zealand attacks vigorously. Urban gets the ball, dummies it and throws a high pass. Lineen can't pick it up and Price comes through kicking ahead. Don Clark has it. He tries a left-footed potted goal. And it's over. New Zealand has 9 points on the board. The scoreboard doesn't stay this way for long. New Zealand are well and truly on the attack as Meads plummets over the British line. 11 minutes to go and the New Zealanders won't let up. Colton is brought down. Conway has the ball and passes to Meads. Urban is there on the right side of the corner flag. Even the press are excited as with only 2 minutes to play, Colton has the ball. And it's a try. Don Clark takes an easy little kick to convert Colton's try, and at game's end the scoreboard reads British Isles 8, New Zealand 22.
So a series win against the Lions, we ended the 50s and the All Blacks went into the 60s in great shape. The 60s produced some of the most outstanding All Black rugby teams of all time. They had inspirational captains such as Wilson Winneray and Brian Lahore, and great players, Don Clark, Cal Tremaine and Colin Meads.
And the New Zealand Rugby Union celebrated its 75th Jubilee in 1967 with a special game, and in 1969 Fergie McCormick, the great fullback, scored a world record number of points in a test.
There's the ball, being squeezed out. Williman trying to crash through just short of the line. There's a dive, right at the try to New Zealand.
It's Tremaine. Tackled by Laidlaw. Try, New Zealand. Laidlaw tackling Daly Smith and Tremaine scoring for New Zealand. Tremaine, number 7.
From a ruck, out to Laidlaw, on to Herawini, outway past Jones but loses the ball. Walker Nathan in support gathers it in, ignores would-be tacklers and puts on the pace. LaFleur races up outside and the New Zealand captain forces his way over for a fine try. This time another notable New Zealand forward, Colin Meads, bursts through, runs nonchalantly and almost reaches the line before the worried Lions can topple him. Then from well-controlled line-out possession won by Colin Meads, All-Black halfback Laidlaw bypasses Herawini with a long pass to McRae, who makes a dazzling start to a brilliant movement. McRae to Laidlaw, to McLeod, to Laidlaw again, on to Tremaine, who's over for New Zealand's first try. Smith comes at speed down the sideline. He passes infield to Tremaine, and then it's Colin Meads, and nothing can stop him scoring a wonderful try. And now it's with Colin Meads, and the great forward heads for the line. He lobs a pass out to winger Steele, but fullback Wilson forces him into touch in the corner.
12 and a half minutes gone in the second half, and number 12. Brass, up goes Muller, the new man from Taranaki. Going. Breaking through. 10-yard mark Australia. Meads, Mason, 25. Going again. Tremaine the try. What a wonderful occasion for Kelvin Tremaine, his 31st Test match. Very cleanly done, but not finding touch. A drop goal on here. McCormick, it could be there. It's straight as it's got the length. It's there. Oh, Kirkpatrick a try from the back of the line out. And he's done it again.
Yes, a total of 24 points scored by Fergie McCormick in that game, which was then a world record by one player in a test.
Now, that was an unsuccessful Welsh team, but they did have some outstanding players who hadn't reached their peak, but they had when they returned a couple of years later as members of the 1971 Lions team. Now, that was a series to remember.
Also in the 70s was the famous wet weather test at Eden Park, the All Blacks against Scotland, the test they called the water polo test.
And we also came to appreciate fully the talents of some of those special players of the 70s, such as Grant Batty and Brian Williams, Ian Kirkpatrick and Sid Going.
Sid Going. Beautiful channel heel last. Wiley Holding on the blind side, Burgess. He's only 1 yard there. What a good score! What a brilliant score! That really was something. Going close to the line. See that juggle, the inside pass. Beautifully out. This could be another try ball. This try half Burgess. Brilliant. And this is where the All Blacks are strong. Look at that, Ian Kirkpatrick, the big man. He's got 30 yards to go. Can Barry John get him? He can't. What a try! Sid Going. Number 8 forward Wiley, the dummy. Beautiful piece of work that. This could be a try, but a great tackle that will snap up a try for Cottrell. Wayne Cottrell. Levin Davis. Try. Taken right out of Davis' hand. Down came flank forward Tom Lister. It's time on the big clock that overlooks this ground at Eden Park. And it's 14 points all. As Sid Going feeds this one. Cottrell with him going blind. The knock on. And that's it. That's it. A drawn match here. 14 points all at Eden Park. words, the British Lions have won the series.
The All Blacks want this one. Sid going. There's a gap. Kirkpatrick. Hamish MacDonald. And the All Blacks have scored. Karam is waiting. Joe Karam. Infielder Williams. Breaking through it halfway. Brian Williams. Steele is back. That's the goal line. And Williams has scored a try. Remarkable. Nicely cleared by Kirkpatrick. Robertson kicking through to Irvin again. And Dick's lost it. Andy Leslie. No, it's Duncan Robertson has scored. What a dive. Ken Stewart. Outside the scoring now to Karam. Joe Karam. 10 metres out. McDonald feeds going. Karam again. Kicking for Williams. Lewis Dick pressured by Williams. Brian Williams going backwards, looking for space. And through and getting it. Great try, Brian Williams. Brad Johnson. Sid going. Duncan Robertson. Bill Osborne. Cobner, Duggan out there quickly. Bill Osborne. Batty. That's only 10 metres out. Going. A brilliant try for Sid going. Farrell kicks to Keane. Hayden got there first. Sid going. Went a fraction too far. Tani Norton there quickly. So too Graham Price. Brynma Williams can run here. Brian Williams not sure who to take. Steve Fenwick. Trevor Evans, there's a line-up out to the right. Batty! Intercept! Grant Batty! Strike this time. There it is. Davis kicking high. Williams through on Evans. Bill Bennett. Ball into open territory. Bill Osborne catches it on his fingers. Fenwick under it. Osborne has it. Brilliant. Laurie Knight! What a try by Laurie Knight! And that one could clinch the series.
Yes, and that try by Laurie Knight meant a series win to the All Blacks against the Lions of 77, and that was rather sweet after losing to them in 1971.
The decade of the 80s began in controversial fashion with the 1981 Springboks tour of New Zealand, a lot of protest and drama, but the decade also produced some great individual performances from Alan Hewson, from Stu Wilson and from John Kerwin.
The 80s also gave us the introduction of Sean Fitzpatrick to Test rugby with the Baby Blacks, and of course there was the inaugural Rugby World Cup.
Dalton's got the hook, Beckstead off, Loveridge to Rollison. He's in! He's in! Beckstead held back there, it looked like. Referee Prideaux was not in a good position to see. Stewart, away to Wilson. Stu Wilson! That's a try, and a brilliant one for the Flying Wellington centre. Mexted nearly got it. Ken Stewart has it to Shaw, to Mexted. Thrown down right on the line. Mark Shaw. Try number 3 for Mark Shaw. Very low when it comes over. Loveridge away to Pokeri. Handles for the ball. First time in Test rugby. Hewson up and through. A chance for Wilson. Wilson pulls it down. A try.
jump on there, but a try. And it is Gary Knight. So 5 minutes into injury time, Alan Hewson has a chance to win the series for New Zealand. And he's done it!
Well, Alan Hewson could have a drop kick from this position at Bay of Plenty on Tuesday. For Wellington, he kicked 2 buttes, and one was from halfway, and this one's just about on the 10-metre line by the time David Loveridge comes back.
There it is, away to Hewson. Here comes the kick. And there is a world record equalling performance by Alan Hewson. 24 points today. So this from the sideline from Alan Hewson. And that world record belongs to Alan Hewson. And I think he knows it. Kieran Fitzgerald's learning all about it the hard way. That's a good throw, but again it's been won by the New Zealand team off his throw. Smith, Taylor, another intercept nearly off an All Black back line. Wayne Smith. Loveridge. Next there. Dalton, 10 metres out. Loveridge, Wayne Smith. Warwick Taylor. That's Jock Hobbs. Loveridge, there's a gap. Try for Loveridge. Right, Loveridge. Wilson. And he's got his try. Number 1, Stu Wilson. And that is his 16th try in internationals. Number 5 is Steve Bainbridge for the Lions. Loveridge wants it up. Here it is. Away to Dunn. Again, Warwick Taylor left out. Fraser in. Wilson. Here it comes. That's the record breaker for Stuart Wilson. 16-3 at half-time. 2 tries to 0, but remember the All Blacks lost a try to Stu Wilson, 1 to Pokeri. Hewson plays halfback. Taylor. Pokeri kicking for Wilson. Here comes another one for the flying Stu Wilson. And it is. Pokeri. Wilson. Hewson up. Campbell covering. Oh, Hewson's in. Alan Hewson's in. Under the posts. Boom. Laidlaw. Evans. Irwin left out Kennan. Oh, it's down on the ground. Wilson will get another try.
And now 15 All Blacks have 80 minutes to prove they're worthy to wear the silver fern. And I suppose you can say to have is to hold. They've got the silver ferns. They're the All Blacks. They're the ones that have to have them taken off them.
Fitzpatrick with the throw for the All Blacks. Good leap in the middle by Brewer. He got high but couldn't quite grasp it. McGrattan makes a little burst for the All Blacks. Taken in by Earl. Releases it nicely for Kirk. Boddicker. Having a good game, Bruno Boddicker. John Kerwin. With the strength of Kerwin. Found Harvey. Here's Brewer. Mike Brewer. Great try to the All Blacks.
Shelford, tight head, Alan Wetton, Fox, in pass, and the first try scored by an individual in the World Cup goes to Michael Jones, and don't they just love it on Eden Park. So Ambrosio kicks off. The Italians are beaten right out of the action now. New Zealand have scored 48 points, Sam. They might be looking for 50. John Kerwin.
In All Black territory. Fox to Taylor. Joe Stanley saw the gap, had good support from Michael Jones. Really running hard, Jones. Craig Green. Oh, this is going to be a superb try.
did not look around. Kerwin. Oh, he's crashed through on the very narrowest of gaps. And he's going to set it up for his comeback. And All Black teammate Zinzan. Zinzan Brook the try. Zinzan Brook. And on his test debut, the man scores a try. Michael Jones. Gary Wetton. What a run by Wetton. Fitzpatrick. That's the goal line ahead. Driven right up to the goal line. Kirk frees it. Fox. Long ball to Stanley. And Gallagher is in under the posts. All the ball has come in New Zealand's way. Another drop kick from Fox. Lajuska and Kerwin. Oh, there's 7 black shots there. Jones. Try by Michael Jones. 15 metres out from the French goal line. Jones came up the line there to make the jump. Now that's unusual. Taylor now. Stanley again. He's gone for the crash ball all day. Kirk. Fox. Jones. Kirk. David Kirk. The game's not over yet. Kirk's back in the play. And through. Oh, it took a strong blow. Kerwin. Oh, I don't believe it. Kirk has scored. Kerwin has scored. Well, a great hometown victory and a great moment for rugby in New Zealand. World Cup winners. Well, that was a truly wonderful moment. David Kirk holding up the trophy at the completion of the victory by the All Blacks in the first ever Rugby World Cup. And that tournament started a resurgence of interest in the sport of rugby. And at the forefront of that resurgence was our international superboot, Grant Fox. So this is the 9th kick for Grant Fox. Oh, marvellous kicking by Fox. New Zealand had scored the same points that they scored in the first test, 52. This man, Fox, makes it 54. The game is over. The tour is over. A magnificent win.
Channel back rather slowly. Basham now to Fox. Here is the little chip kick. Now the chase is on. Still loose, and yes! Grant Fox gets his first try in Test rugby. And Grant Fox has his 1,000 points for the All Blacks.
Well, they're tackling our backs about 3 or 4 yards on their side of the advantage. Here's a penalty.
Well, if ever Grant Fox needed to land a penalty, this is it. He scored 585 points in Test rugby, but the next 3, if he gets them, will be the most important.
This is a big penalty for Grant Fox. I mean, it's not as if it's close. Admittedly, he's right down the barrel. He's got the wind behind him, which is considerable.
Some of the crowd at Lancaster Park simply can't watch. Others giving the fingernails a decent workover. Time is virtually up on the clock. Grant Fox can win the Test match with this kick. He's got it!
it's a sensational kick, a great pressure kick from a master.
The All Blacks have escaped with a late penalty goal by Grant Fox to win the game by 20 points to 18.
I was just checking, 645 points by Grant Fox. He seldom missed those important ones. Now, Grant Fox was a vital member of an All Black team which went for 3 seasons in the 1980s without losing a test match. Alongside him, the world's best, the one and only, the great winger, John Kirwan.
Next dead back to Kirk on the blind side to Smith, not much room. Good kick though from Smith. Taylor was there quickly. Porkery to John Kirwan. First test try for John Kirwan. That's the 22-metre line of Welsh territory. Good controlled play here. All Blacks retaining possession. Now they need to ruck it. Back to Fox, to Taylor. Here's Stanley. John Stanley straight through. Kirwan, first try of the test. That's the goal line. Now Deans to Fox. Big line up here. Kirwan. John Kirwan, number 2. That's the halfway line as Bruce Deans waits. Another little chip. Ball clear to Webb in trouble. Here's Buck Shelford. Deans, Kirwan again. Number 3, John Kirwan. Now Deans. Held up for Gallagher to Kirwan, and the All Blacks have cracked 50 in the match. 4 tries to John Kirwan.
Deans, Fox, Stanley, Kirwan. And that's what happens when you spin it wide. Fox now. There's overlap here. Gallagher through. Oh, great save by Evans. No, it's not. It's a try for Kirwan.
28 points to 3 they lead. Deans up to Shelford. Looking for Jones. Found Deans instead though. Here's Fox. Schuster running hard. John Schuster finds Kirwan. John Kirwan. Now Deans up to Stanley. Here's Gallagher. Try for John Kirwan. Simple move.
Fox. McCarhill looking for Kirwan on the crash ball. Kirwan through. They're not tackling him. He's away. Oh, brilliant try for John Kirwan. Away to Stanley. Stanley through. Kirwan. Into the corner, John Kirwan. The Scots look a wee bit sluggish here. Fox. Kirwan again. He's got Gary Wetton waiting wide. Gary Wetton. Kirwan gets his second. Now will they spin it wide? Fox, Innes, Kirwan. Big JK in. Walter Little, Cooper, Kirwan. And what a lovely try for John Kirwan. Breaking away. 50 tries, 50 tests, 32 test tries.
What a wonderful player, John Kirwan. You know, John, in his time, he played 58 tests for the All Blacks and scored 35 test tries.
Yes, he was one of those special players. Now, quite often when Keith and I are talking about rugby, we try and work out who was the best All Black coach. And a few years ago, the coaches just sort of worked their way up and got the top job, didn't they?
Well, that's all changed now. In modern times, most of the coaches at the top have been very good players indeed.
Yeah, a lot of them have played first-class rugby, and quite a few, too, have played test matches for the All Blacks.
Beautiful run by John, but no support. And now it's New Zealand on the rampage. McLeod again, the hooker. Look at this man go. Up with it is Jazz Muller. And it's Lister there, brought down by Richards. And he'll stick away. So is Lahore. And a try for Brian Lahore, the New Zealand captain. And Wales really under pressure now. Wiley on his own. A try. The Canterbury captain, Alex Wiley. Chance for New Zealand, 5 yards short, going. Burgess.
15 yards from the French line. Labour still to the blue. They will first speculate. Anything could happen here.
Into Hobbs, who's had an excellent game. Away to Wayne Smith. A strong run by Wayne Smith. And a brilliant try for Wayne Smith. The most brilliant solo try has been scored by Canterbury's first 5'8" Wayne Smith.
Yes, Wayne Smith there scoring a try for Canterbury when they lifted the Ranfurly Shield off Wellington in 1982. Wayne Smith by 1998. Successful coach of the Canterbury Crusaders and on the All Black coaching panel.
Right. Now, the 1990s, of course, will be regarded as a period of radical change in the sport of rugby. The sport went professional in 1995, and just prior to that, we saw the return of the Springboks to the international fold.
Yes, they resumed contact with New Zealand in 1992, and in 1994 they toured New Zealand again for the first time for 13 years. And by 95, they'd hosted the third Rugby World Cup.
South Africa in disarray in the last few moments. Brewer. Penne. Bishop handles yet again. Zinzanbrook. Kerwin. And that's a record-breaking try for John Kerwin. Bishop. Jeremiah using him for the crash ball, taking it up. Zinzanbrook. Supported by his captain at the 22. Inching up, 20 metres out. Bunce, Larson, Tibu. And so now they test the strength of the two packs, and the New Zealand pack is still up, and they've scrubbed it hard here. It's on for the pushover. And Zinzanbrook touches down. New Zealand have begun the game at the pace I think they'll want to play it. Walter Little, Frank Bunce takes the tackle. No sign yet of an early penalty by referee Hilditch. Bishop again, New Zealand maintaining possession. Wide to Lomu. He's got the bounce. He's heading it off his opposite. Lomu. Zinzanbrook, he can pass the ball as well. Look at this. Right out to Osman, to Lomu. Look out. Lomu in again. Superb pressure, once again, superbly converted to points. So there it is for Bishop again, who's had such a control in the first half. And then a little push out towards Lomu. And Lomu's chasing hard. And the bounce has gone to Little. Kronfeld, Lomu! 3 for Lomu. Richards, Morris, intercept by Bishop. Lomu, hands off Tony Underwood. Lomu, heading for 4. That's the most brilliant quartet of tries you'd ever wish to see.
Okay, their traditional rivals were back. That was the Springboks. The players were being paid at last, so everything seemed okay. But there was one thing still nagging away at the minds of the All Blacks, and that was that they'd never beaten the Springboks in South Africa.
Well, that chance came in 1996 when there were no fewer than 5 tests scheduled between the All Blacks and the Springboks. Some were part of the new Tri-Nation series, with Australia included, and a separate 3-test series. And for the All Blacks, history was made in South Africa.
It's a mean-looking Springbok team. Hold on. Well, there might be problems with the referee today. You've seen it already. Marshall away to Zinzanbrook near halfway. Glenn Osborne, a brilliant pickup. He's gone outside Roo. Hubert makes the half stop. Here comes Marshall again. Out to Culhane. Walter Little spinning wide. Culhane to Jeff Wilson. What a try. He can cut off his hair any day of the week if he's going to score like that, Jeff Wilson. Henry Tromp throws it. Up goes Jones. Marshall. Big pass to Walter Little. The Springboks are stretched 20 metres out. Jones feeds Marshall to Culhane, to Cullen-up. Protected again by Ian Jones, I think it was. They can go left or right. Driving on is Robin Brook. Tremendous examples of brute force and strength already in this game. Kronfeld, 10 metres out. Some superb rugby from Josh Kronfeld today. Marshall, bunts, Zinzanbrook, and Cullen is in. One off the New Zealand throw, straight to Durant. Might be playing on automatic pilot. Rue, Osborne. We've got a great back three in the New Zealand team. Cullen going wide. Good chase by Snyman. It's on the South African side. Ripped back onto the New Zealand side. Fitzpatrick. Marshall. A line-up here. Can they get it wide? Dangerous stuff. Durant is there. Jones to Kronfeld. A lovely tackle and chase by Van Skulkbeek. What a pace. What a grueling pace. Another line-up for New Zealand. Walter Little drills it deep. Wilson chasing with Hendricks. It's Wilson to Fitzpatrick to Zinzanbrook. And he's in. Kiwi madness. Bounces to Jeff Wilson, to Culhane, to Walter Little, number 12. The South Africans getting up the middle of the field very quickly indeed. Marshall, this is another good run by the brave Canterbury halfback. He's got Ian Jones with him. He gives it instead to Robin Brook, and now to Ian Jones, to Wilson. What a super try. Right around behind the posts, a great try. Zinzanbrook to Marshall. Cullen up Wilson. Good chase here by Wilson. He's got the bounce. That's 2 for Wilson. Tell you what, Wayne, he can cut his hair short anytime he likes. That's 3 tries and 2 tests for Jeff Wilson. New Zealand put in. 5-metre scrum. Taken back by South Africa. Let's see what they can cook up here. Zinzanbrook. He's there. Zinzan's in again. John Hart in the crowd. Jots it down on a notebook. That one's gone into the history books. Zinzanbrook sets a record for most tries in Test rugby by an All Black against a South African team. Counting down the seconds to a date with rugby history. Marshall. Back to Bunce. Frank Bunce, another of his great ad-lib runs. And it's there for Marshall. Are they going to have the drop kick? Zinzanbrook is trying to put the game beyond doubt, and he's done it! He's done it! Zinzanbrook and the New Zealand team have seized the moment to write a page across All Black rugby history. For the second time in his brilliant, star-bright career, Zinzanbrook drops a goal in a famous victory. Still a chance for South Africa. They must be very organised here. They must pause now themselves and try for another drive over. So the New Zealanders fighting with every fibre of their being. They dropped that one, they got it down. Cobus Misa. Hang on to it, New Zealand. Hang on to it, New Zealand. It's over. History has been made. The players are exhausted. They're on the deck. What a great game we've seen. the New Zealand side have claimed this moment as their time for the history books. And as you can see, they've played themselves literally into the ground. This is the greatest day in the history of New Zealand rugby. The greatest day because they've won against their greatest rivals. We won the World Cup in '87 for sure, but South Africa weren't involved in that series. A look at the triumph that's coming out of the stands, directed at Sean Fitzpatrick and his team. In goes a New Zealand throw, a try for the All Blacks. They took it off the South African throw-in, and Sean Fitzpatrick has the try. And they line up again. Marshall, Mertens, he's popped that into space. Where's the bounce going to go? It's off the post, and a try is scored by Walter Little.
The Springboks are just wanting to defend and slow it down. The All Blacks want to keep attacking. They're not going to stay die.
Olo Brown takes it. Taylor. Brown 5 metres out on the New Zealand side. Marshall to Zinzanbrook. Great defence by the South Africans. Henry Honeyball. Back on the New Zealand side again. Marshall. He cannot get it down. It's down now. And I think it might have gone to Craig Dowd. Let's look. Justin Marshall.
Well, that success has certainly got a rate at the top of the tree.
Yes, even with the World Cup around, John, I think beating the Springboks in a test series is the big one for the All Blacks.
Well, there's no doubt that we've come a long way in rugby since Keith and I have been following it. There have been some outstanding players, some brilliant games. But there's no doubt that the players of the 90s have achieved something more. With all this television exposure, maybe they're almost at cult status.
Well, I think they are, and television's been around in various forms since the 60s, and One World of Sport in its various forms has been there all the way too. Let's check now some of the great rugby moments of recent times as the 20th century heads towards its conclusion.
21-16, let's go to Greg Cooper.
A fantastic drop goal there by Andrew Mertens. Hit it sweetly, never looked like missing, and he's an exceptional footballer.
Bunce, floating to the centre to Brewer, to Wilson. Here comes a try for the Lomu man. And up they go, Jones at the back. Michael Jones, Zinzanbrook, goal line looming. New Zealand, in they go again, swinging it this time, Mertens. There was Lomu in, as they've been practicing. The Samoan defence held, but will it hold this time? A lineup, Michael Jones, Zinzanbrook, Cullen on his test debut, and having been knocked out of the game a moment ago, has scored. And that's the best way to express himself on the field. Smuggled back through the hands. A lot of communication in there. Goal line at the back. Marshall. Mertens. Wilson. Samoan defence holding up here. They've got to stay back behind the last one. Marshall. McLeod. Big, strong Scott McLeod. Brendan Reedy is the tackler. It's a nice position again for New Zealand. Marshall. Up the short alley again. Kronfeld, number 7. Turnover again. How many phases is this? The little pop for Cullen and Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Robin Brook. Straight out to Butts. Look how Cullen is there. Now Wilson. Sharp looking backline. Wilson's going to make another try. Oh, Cullen gets it. I think Wilson would have got there He does nearly walk on water. 2 tries in his test debut. The kid's as good as the headlines say. Sean Fitzpatrick to Marshall, probing for the gaps. Look at Olo Brown jumping to be near, spinning the ball wide, heading out for Lomu land. Jonah. 15 metres out now. Marshall. Beautiful hands, Mertens. Here's a running chance. Cullen gets 3 on his debut. Marshall. Cullen up. Now Wilson running. Big sidestep. What a run. And Jones is there. What a compliment to Ian Jones that he scores on his 50th test game. Marshall to Lomu. Lomu makes use of the 30 kilograms, and he's in! He only had half a metre to work with against the touchline. He tiptoed down that line. Here they go again in the backs. Scott McLeod, Cullen up and through. Oh, I don't believe it! The kid gives a little wink after he scores it.
But once again, a midfield scrum position. The back line split with McLeod and Bunce off to the right.
McLeod, good pass to Cullen, into space. Kronfeld shadows him. Kronfeld, Cullen, Zinzanbrook, that's beautiful rugby. Sublime. Townsend. Well, that's the famous Townsend pass, but it didn't come off this time. That's the one that led to the try by Gavin Hastings, and it's going to work the other way now. A try for Christian Cullen.
Here we see the head-on replay. Cullen, who is so very, very good from broken play. The left foot this time. Too much speed for the cover defence of Scotland. Full line out.
McLeod to Bunce. Bunce is through. Cullen gets 3. 2 tests, 6 tries. "25 metres out. On the floor for Marshall. Straight to McLeod. To Cullen. To Wilson. And the local hero wants to get on the act. He gives it to Cullen, and Cullen continues to rewrite the scorebooks. That's 4 tries to Cullen, another wink. He continues to delight his increasing army of fans. Getting across there quickly was Richard Herring. John Eales grabs Zinzanbrook. Now Robin Brook. He's a very good passer of the ball. There's an example. Mertens. Walter Little goes down. This is 15 metres out. Marshall. Change of direction. Michael Jones. Lobo in midfield. 3 out to his right. Zinzanbrook. Cullen. Christian Cullen. Mertens. Again, the flat kick through. Lomu in tune. Well claimed by Lomu. Marshall, no one ahead. He has to have a go. That's amazing. All-time great, but Michael Jones is in that category as well, for New Zealand and for the game anywhere in the world. Walter Little. Kronfeld has been in brilliant touch today, relishing the game. And they've hooked it back between his legs. And Mertens got it, and there's a line-up out to the right, and Zinzanbrook is running hard, and he's given it to Wilson.
I think this man with the ball at his feet now has come on a tremendous amount in the 4 tests he's played this year, Justin Marshall.
Olo Brown in combination with Marshall and Robin Brook. 22-metre line. Marshall again. Mertens. There's the kick wide for Cullen and Tune and Lomu. And Lomu gets one. The box is a little place behind the winger on the far touchline.
Perhaps he's setting up for the drop kick.
He's running it on the loop. Mertens through. Oh! Cullen falls over. Bunce drives on. The try is scored. The All Blacks have burgled this game off the Australians. Frank Bunce tried. John Hart delighted. The first try series is going to go to New Zealand.
Set move coming up here. All the forwards in behind Justin Marshall.
Mertens to Ola Brown. There's the goal line coming up. Tane Randall gets his first charge in Test football. Here's a pass on to Cullen. And in the first minute of play, the Taito flyer is in.
Cullen's out well to the left because there's plenty of defence on the blind side for Fiji.
It goes to the right to Marshall, to Wilson. Beats the tackle of Manasseh Mbari, and Wilson scores. So the possession gradually becoming overwhelming on the New Zealand side. There's Robin Brook. He plays scrum half straight out to Stensis. The little jab. Pedro Lasaka Bimbao coming across. Fumble, Bunce. Robin Brook who started with the pass. And they're at the 22. The two lock forwards, and now the props are getting into the action. We're having a treat already. Bunce passing off. Now Marshall, Mertens, big line-up, long pass, Umaga, Randall, and Wilson on the left wing. Coming up to the 22 now. Robin Brooks been aggressive tonight, taken by his opposite number, Simon. Mertens, Bunce left out. Umaga on the trash! Tronfeld with him. Great start by Umaga. See him coming to the right now, and he might get one on the right. No, it's a hat-trick for Wilson. Showtime! So, Sorovaki now, number 12, at the halfway line.
Let go, on his feet.
Stensis. Bunce handing off to Mertens. Spare for Mertens. Chipping it out wide. Hello, here comes Jack Wilson's number 4. Olo Brown coming over the halfway line. This crowd is really enchanted by the All Blacks performance tonight. There's a wave which has been spinning around and around. They've done about 10 laps so far and showing no sign of stopping, just as the All Blacks are showing little sign of stopping in their second half. Stensness, the ever-present Wilson is there. Chip and chase, the bounce. There, 55-5. Punt there by Manasseh Mbari, but now here's Tana Umaga. The roar goes up. Not quite the Umaga that you get at Athletic Park and where the Wellington Hurricanes play at home. But that's a good position now for New Zealand midfield, 15 metres out. Swinging the ball nicely. Cullen. Sticks he goes. Second try tonight. Christian Cullen. Tronfeld. What a big half young Randall is having. But have a look at Umaga now. Can he go all the way? Hands it off to Tronfeld. Cullen. This is magic. It really We're seeing a treat. And each try gets better. Gonzalo Quesada with the kick. And everyone's chugging back for this one. Cheer goes up for Umanga. Confronted by Solari. Looking for a support. It's to the other winger, Wilson. Stensness. Zinzan Brook. Marshall. Look at the way that ball is sticking. Cullen over halfway. Spencer around Soler, and the ultimate compliment. The captain brings up 50. And this one's gone to Martin, their star forward last year. Reggiado.
Cronfeld, brilliant work then. Just stayed on his feet and wrenched the ball clear. Turnover, and New Zealand clear away.
Well spotted. And Jeff Wilson's got the bounce. Hurano after him. And he's clear. And Carlos Spencer's going to get the try. Marvellous. Up goes Randall. Marshall, Stensness, straight to space for Christian Cullen. Jeff Wilson, 75 yards out, and around Hurano he goes. Cullen's going to get a pass. Tremendous try for Christian Cullen. Good kick by Solari, but Wilson can start something here. Umanga's back in centre field and gets the pass. Look at him breaking out of the tackles. Marshall. Rickelman. Carlos Spencer. Randall. Oh, that's Zinzan Brooks attacking kick.
Who's out there? His brother. And Fitzy.
Fighting over it. And Robin Brook gets it. Brother to brother. But still a big total against Argentina. Stensness through, got the sidestep, and this is a wonderful solo try by Lee Stensness. What a moment for him. Good run by Fitzpatrick. He's got one to beat. Tremendous pass by Robin Brook to Cronfeld. It was like Brook was playing number 7, and now the ball is spinning again. There's the little chip through. Cullen. That's a very well-constructed try, started by the captain. Straight out to Lee Stensness. Is there one more for the New Zealand team tonight to take it into the 60s? Look at this. Wonderful passing, skillful tackling, and great running. And Zinzan Brook to Spencer. And they'll get 60 with another superb score. Carlos Spencer.
Randall at the front, Cronfeld in front of him, using the big man towards the end.
Tane Randall stepping up to the big time today. He's had 3 tests, but this is by far the toughest. Spencer, bunts. Wilson outside his man. Trying to keep his feet. Oh, beautiful try for Cronfeld. So New Zealand leading 18-3. Half-time approaches. Larkham waiting again, looking into the sun. A good catch again by Larkham. Gregan off the carpet. Coco's lost it. Beautifully between his legs by Spencer. Cullen is in. Umanga. Picked up there by Frank Bunce. Tremendous run here. Beautiful pass by Robin Brook. Spencer again. Josh Cronfeld. One of the great ones.
Set move here for the All Blacks. Look for Olo Brown as a runner.
Marshall. There goes Olo to the 22, but they've marked him. Spencer to Zinzanbrook. 10-0 to the Springboks. Stensons. Bunce. Oh, look at this! From Big Frank! A right royal try! Montgomery is down. Andre Fenter. Van Skalkbeek. Look at Bunce. Very hard hit. Heads out. Ondrotsky. Marius Herta. A good burst by the prop. He's probably the slowest man in the game. A charge down. Wilson. He's going to have a go. The Fates have gone New Zealand's way with a try for Jeff Wilson. Deep to Jonesy. Marshall. Frank Bunce. All the way. What a try. A magnificent. A superb try by the one and only Frank Bunce. There's Bryle for the first time. Hasn't played an effective role yet. He might have lost that one on the New Zealand side. He has. Chip and chase now. Look at Jeff Wilson go. Look at Wilson go. He can't believe it. But it's real. And that's again 2 tries in 2 minutes. They judge the end-over-end bounce these days, don't they? Look at this. He actually launches his dive before he touches it.
And that's Joe Roth, who's no slug. So that shows you how quick Jeff Wilson is.
Away goes Randall. He's having a big one tonight, Tane Randall. His performance, his improvement in every test so far. And there's Olo Brown charging for the line. He got the pass away to down. Just short.
Robin Brook has it.
Marshall. Spencer. Cullen. .35 metres out. Number 3 is Olo Brown. Off the floor, Marshall. Spencer. Bunce again. The big fend, and he's clear. Alama Yeremia. A great try for Yeremia and the All Blacks. To the right. Cullen. Wilson. Umaga. Spencer. They love him on this ground. Spinning that this time to Tane Randall into space. Cullen. Beautiful. Beautiful try. Big pass to Bunce. To Alama Yeremia. To Randall. Bunce again. His 50th test. And looking tremendous again this afternoon. Cullen up. To the bottom of the picture, just down here to the bottom, is Zinzanbrook on the ground. So play swinging to the other side. Zinni was in a hard hit with Teichmann. Olo Brown puts in a sidestep on Marius Herta. Hands through by Carlos. Cullen picks it up. It's a wave of black attack. Christian Cullen gives it to his captain. Long period of play. Will it end with something? Kronfeld. Van der Westhuizen's tackle. Marshall's try.
Coming for Marshall again. He's made his own break out of the blocks. Spencer. Cullen away. Oh, that's a foul by James Small. He must go as well. He tried to foot trip him on the line. The try has been scored, but we might not hear the end of that.
Well, Justin Marshall, forward replay, he started this. Spencer in support. Cullen, the short ball off Spencer, just chopping back against the cover defence that was coming. That's a super try for Christian Cullen.
5 minutes left in the game. 50-28. Marshall, Cullen in. Turner over for the line with Thunderbest goes in. Turner.
Okay, here we go.
John Macbeth on the sideline with us today. It's a One World of Sport commentary you've got at the moment, putting you in the best seat in the house, and we could be in for a real treat the way the All Blacks have begun this today, almost scoring a run a minute, 19-0. And up goes Zinzanbrook, a big pass. Space for Cullen. Halfway. Magic moment for Christian Cullen. A Zinzanbrook pass and then magic from Christian Cullen.
How good is this man? Zinzanbrook did superbly. He began it. Look at the vision. Forward replay. The big wide ball. Cullen hit the line superbly in space. I thought George Grieger might have got him, actually. He's superb on defence, but Cullen just turned him inside out and went over in Jason Little's tackle. This is unbelievable.
He sews them inside out here, doesn't he? You watch this. The Aussies don't know which way to go.
I don't think the All Black support players do too, because they're not quite sure where Christian's going, but this is a superb try.
Well, you can't keep up with genius, really. And Christian Cullen had been a bit quiet in some of his earlier tests this year, but look at this. A wonderful, wonderful try.
Well, 18 tests, 18 tries. Not a bad record.
So as we said at the start, these are some of our favourite highlights of All Black rugby over the years, and hopefully it'll stimulate a bit of discussion amongst yourselves as to which was the best team, who was the best player, what was your favourite moment?
Which was the best legendary All Black moment.
Now, who was the best All Black captain? Would it have been?